Hi guys, and welcome to this week's messages. This has been a very, 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 very powerful week for me. I held the solstice energy bath on Thursday. The recording is available. Please do check out that recording. I just feel like it's some interesting, important messages, and yeah, just an extremely fast movement at the moment. Like absolutely no attachment to anything. Things are just flowing, moving through like water. You know, there's just no attachment, not attaching to anything, just flowing. And the day after that bath, I had a huge experience. But what I always find so interesting is whenever these, Four of Cups just flipped out then. Whenever these profound things happen, there have been some huge shifts that have felt very, very huge in the moment, as in kind of like life into another life. You know, I've had huge I suppose awakenings that have felt like a death. So it's a complete transformation of the experience of being alive, I guess. But then at the same time, since then, there are all these kind of like incremental experiences where I connect to information. But the funny thing is, at the time it just feels normal. At the time it's like, no, it doesn't feel normal. At the time it just feels very kind of, it doesn't feel like a big deal. But then you realize, oh, that was actually it just has such an impact. It's like a splinter. And the interesting thing is I did get a splinter in my hand during the energy bath. And it's like a splinter. It's like, it can seem, it's the tiniest little thing, but it has huge impact. Or when they say if you, a mosquito in a room, one mosquito in a room, the impact that it can have. It's a bit like that. It's like a tiny little thing. Seems tiny, but has a huge impact. And so I had one of those on Friday. And then, yeah, I'm just going with the flow, and delivering all the messages that I can, and surrounding myself with as much beauty as possible, because that seems to be the message that's coming through. Joy and beauty. Follow what brings you joy, and it's not beauty to say that things are ugly, because beauty can be found in many things, in everything really. But it's just follow what you find beautiful, because that's the path. That seems to be the message that's coming through. So, a bit more of a shuffle. I wanted to say thank you again. I just keep getting these thank yous. Thank you for just being here. Just being here. And thank you for everybody that supports me financially by purchasing, renting the things that I offer, and by coming on the energy baths. It makes a difference. I was at a shop yesterday. It's just, what I find is that people don't spend money consciously. And you really just, it's really this simple. It's not about cost. It's not about price. Though, you know, of course, it's irrelevant. But it really, when it comes to, it's not about how much. It's about where. Where do you want to flow it? Like I said, like water. And it's just like, every time you choose to invest in me, you create more of me in the world. You give me, you say, your consciousness says, I want more of this. I want to invest in this, therefore, because you give me a part of yourself, of your focus, it's so powerful. And you do it here now. You do it here just in your conscious, your focus, but it's kind of like it's more. It's for me, it makes it practical. It actually makes it makes me able practically. It practically connects ideas to, not idea, I suppose it is ideas. practically connects these ideals, I guess is the word I'm looking for, not ideas, into the world. And every time you do that, every time you invest, I always say it's time, focus, time, attention, focus. That's the most valuable thing that you have. Every time, everything, that's what you're in. That's why I say thank you, because you're investing in me now. Investing not in me, in this, I guess. Look at that sun. This sun is the message from the solstice, which was this: follow your joy, follow your beauty. That's really what I keep experiencing. And thank you for those that listen to what I have to say and don't just want the cards. I have to say, it's quite offensive. It's a bit like, oh, I don't care what you have to say. You don't exist as a human being or as even a being. I don't care. Just give me the cards. What do the cards say? And I get that, but it doesn't feel good to me. It feels like you're being used. And channels are not, like I said, A, everybody's always channeling, and B, it's like if you don't, it's a bit like I'm gifted with the ability, not the ability, without me the cards have nothing to say. So if you must equally respect the reader as much as the cards. And I think sometimes maybe even the YouTube platform, because there's so many different readers, it's like, and also just the internet and YouTube and the way it is, it's like the humanity, the person kind of gets taken out of it. And, people just leave comments, and it's a bit like they don't actually understand that there's a human being involved. No matter how evolved they seem to be or unevolved or whatever opinion you have about them or however you feel, it's a bit like disjointed. And, I suppose that's why I don't share so much of myself on YouTube, because I actually don't think it's, to be honest, the word I've got is like safe, but it's because, people don't, they just kind of don't really, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. But anyway, it's a message. I mean, it seems like there's some kind of shift that happened with the solstice. The sun is just on the bottom of the card without me doing anything, and it kind of feels like it has something to say. I feel very specifically, I did a 6-month solstice reading, which is up on YouTube, and I feel very much as though there has been a shift that occurred. Like I said, I had a huge experience on Friday, and sunlight was involved in that. The sun, at the same time, this sunlight, this ray of sunlight just came through this window at exactly the moment, and it was really profound. I feel like there's been a shift, there's been a door, there's some kind of door's been stepped through, and I have to be honest, I feel like I have no clue how I'm going to be used in the future to deliver guidance or whatever wants to move through me in the best possible way. I think it's shifting. But I suppose what I want to do is invite you to truly follow your joy. And before I was recording, I was having these thoughts and ideas about how, people believe what some people believe will give them joy is not what will give them joy. Like, if I had unlimited financial funds, then my life would be full of joy. That we can attach circumstance to joy. True joy can only really exist in a moment, and now, so it's, where is your joy now? Where is your joy now? Not attached to anything. That doesn't mean that you can't have great joyful experiences that are connected to money. But if you've got this attachment to, like, if I have loads of money, then I'll feel, and then I'll be joyful, it doesn't really work. You have to kind of like find the joy first. But the message I had and the feeling that I had and what I wanted to share is that I don't think people know what joy is. And when you say follow your joy, really it's appreciation. It's follow the appreciation. It's like a stream of appreciation. It's a vibration, which is love, appreciation, joy, same kind of vibration. It's really appreciation. But I feel like people don't know that. They don't know that joy is appreciation. And so really it is, more than anything, what can I appreciate right now in this moment, but where do I want to go? It's like once you get into that vibration, allowing that movement to take you somewhere. Like this guy is sitting here on this horse, this kid, no, naked, wild, free, but life is the horse that's just taking him forward. It's genderless child, for me, and it's just like, it doesn't matter. It's a human being. That life is. It's like life is going to take us, or like say this is like your destiny is just kind of written in the stars, in this, you know. But at the same time, it's like how do you want to ride it? How do you want to ride this beautiful life? And really it's just arms outstretched, naked, being who I am. That's how you want to ride it. That's how it's going to be a joyful experience in the sunshine. But it's a bit like follow your sunshine. You've got to go where the sunshine is. I mean, for me, that's quite a literal thing. You know, if being around light is, for me, just so important. Light and space and nature. It's very challenging for me to be in cities. Very, very challenging. There's just such a huge amount going on in small spaces. So anyway, that's just come through. I'm gonna then carry on shuffling and then just get on with the reading. Yeah. Again, please, just there's something in that. I do feel like there's something profound in the solstice session that I held. It's an hour and 45, an hour and 50 minutes long. It's this, I don't know, I have to be honest, I don't know what, I just know there's something in it. There's some energy in it that could be quite, I feel is quite profoundly shifting. So if you want to touch that, please do check that out. So it's the bath involved a 3-card audio reading that I recorded and sent to everybody that had access to the live recording, to the live experience. But if you just want to buy the recording, it's going to be half the price that it was, because you won't get that recording and because you won't get the chance to access it live as it happened. Though at the same time, I always say, you know, you're there. But I think it's like if you know it's happening and you know that you've invested in it, you're definitely there more. I mean, like, for sure. I don't know, it's just really interesting. I'm just kind of blown away right now by life and how it works and you know, time. Feels a bit rambly what I'm doing, but it feels right, so that's why I'm carrying on. Because that's all we can do. So those that have ears to hear will always hear, even if I don't really know what is being said. Cool, so ready to go. Great, thank you very much. Let's go this one. Bottom of the deck for this week is Page of Wands. Wow, I mean, this makes complete sense. This is just seeing things from a different perspective. But it's also it's exactly, I mean, I'm experiencing this. It's a new kind of like childlike view. It's a youthful kind of not knowing, innocent, oh, look at this, you know, oh, look at it from this angle kind of energy. And the Page of Wands is also a messenger. It represents the messenger, and I feel like this is what's happening. Like, I can be considered a messenger. Maybe this is a message about this message. You know, but I also feel like I have messengers that deliver messages to me, you know, and then I forward the message on in whichever way it kind of gets translated through me, and then you do the same, you know, and it's just through us connected to that sun card, connecting to us just being who we are, being alive. But this is really symbolizing a shift in perspective. And it's also about planning. It's also about it's a shift in perspective, and then how do I take this forward? It's not, there's no action being taken, but there's thoughts or intention regarding how you can take this new perspective forward. So I do feel like there's been shifts, especially over the past few weeks, and then maybe culminating kind of this week, in this kind of, there's a shift in perspective. And I do feel like talking to like the twin flame community, the twin flame story, twin souls, whatever, there's a shift in that. There's a shift in perspective. There's a shift in, what does it mean? I'm noticing it. I'm getting different emails from people that are saying, oh, have you ever experienced it? What do you think this? Like, are there people that are having this happen? Are there people that are having that happen? There's much more fluid. People are moving into, you know, not non-attachment, basically. Like, does it need to be a certain way? Do I need to believe even that this is some wholly important connection, that there is some mission to achieve? You know, do we, personally, I've never attached to that. I believe in love, and I believe that relationship is the birthplace of understanding the self and the self in the world, and that love is this movement between two places, and therefore we kind of need more than one place or one thing in order to experience it. And so what has always moved through me is the relationship stuff, I guess, but that doesn't need to be just, you know, within the story of that. It's about relating with everything and everyone in that way with love. And I feel like that's what this Page of Wands is saying. So it's interesting. Okay, let's get the rest of the cards out. I'm gonna go masculine on this side first. First card for the masculine is the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, down a bit. Got these nice flowers. The light's a bit strong, so I'm not sure you can see it, but I like the colours. I'm gonna show you actually. Oh, you can't really see it that well. The colours are a bit, there we go. It's just really pretty. Anyway, I wanted to share it with you.
This week's reading focuses upon how we practically live the spiritual truth, or the emotional truth, we could call it. It's about the practical application. It's about actually living the quote-unquote truth in a practical way. And how do we do it? How is it happening this week? And there's something special going on with the full moon. So that's that. See you in a sec.
Away. Still using these. They still have something to say. I'm going to be next week. I think I'm going to be back on the roomies. It literally came to me just before I started recording that I'm going to go tomorrow and pick them up. So I will have them. Oh, Christ! Okay, that just happened. This is happening. Oh, isn't it a fun ride? These are the two that just popped out, and it was like, no, this is happening. So there's this whole thing, and something to do with this 3 now. So, you know, this 3 is saying, like, it's coming. This is what's coming in. So whatever the messages are on these 2 cards, this is what's coming in. Okay? So I'm going to start with the Christ Flame, because that was the one on top. Came out first. Cool. Within you burns the flame of Christ. Beyond religion, this flame belongs to all hearts willing to receive the divine, opening to it as a lover would open the heart to receive the beloved. Though the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine and therefore greater love and depth of compassion, it too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that this bring healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives in sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of the causes that are worthy and moving to your brave heart, capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. You may be a combination of these soul types and choosing wisely what you consume, which companies you support, what television you do or do not watch, and what you read, voting for the life you want to have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting within you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you are connecting with the universal Christ consciousness and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart, bearing the Christ flame of divine love this lifetime. You are part of the wave of awakening happening on the earth now. You are exactly where you are meant to be and doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. Keep going. And the poem is: love is more than words can define. It is a feeling which wells up inside and longs for release. It is a smile which starts in my heart and spreads across my face like a silly grin. It is a knowing so deep in my being that every cell speaks in a language only lovers know. And most of all, it is the beginning, the birth, the possibility, the promise of a tomorrow, the hope that grows into something we can only imagine when hearts combine and love becomes more. And number 64, sensual awakening. Within the sacred temple of your body, your soul experiences the vast buffet of life made manifest. Your sensuality is a way for your soul to express appreciation, pleasure, and joy. Your sensuality is much like your creative energy. It needs to be expressed regularly, otherwise it can become muffled under a fuzz of too much thinking. You are being called to experience your sensual nature again. You are beautiful and vivid, striking and appealing. Allow your sensual appreciation for yourself and others to flow and enjoy this unique experience of being a soul awakening in a body awakening. It's all love. This oracle brings you guidance that your sensual nature needs to play, and it doesn't require an external lover to do so, though that is one way, of course. It can be expressed through massage, creating art, spending time in nature, swimming, dancing, feeling the sun or air on your skin, drinking aromatic tea or taking a bath. Play with what feels good for you and enjoy the indulgence. It will bring you renewed energy, and apart from that, it's fun. And the message is, the poem is: I dare not touch my heart's desire that sings a melody so still and lights within a yearning fire, a void that you alone can fill. I cannot say how my heart aches, nor speak the words as embers burn. Such blessings come to those who wait, a love that asks naught in return. An open soul a risk must bear, to love without restrictions held, to reach another level rare, where two embraced as one are meld. To taste surrender's nectar sweet, by piercing through the veil so thin, and bathe in joy as tears release, a promised dance begins again. So there we go. That's be it. There was a big Magdalene energy, feminine Christ energy, but it's not really feminine. It's, as per the full reading, it's about the feminine, non-biased feminine, being both masculine and feminine, as we all are, as per the solstice biannual reading that's also been put up this week. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet for the next 6 months. Oh yes, somebody asked how that 6-month reading impacts the 12-month reading that was in the yearly energy bath from January. It's just extra, like, more up-to-date extra information. It's a bit like if you watch a weather forecast for the next week, and then you get another, on Monday, and it's for the next week, the next Monday, and then on that Monday you then watch another. It's the same. It's just slightly more, because things have shifted and changed, and there's more up-to-date information. So it's like that. But it doesn't negate the other one. It's to be used simultaneously. But it is going to be more up-to-date information, It just is. There's less variable the closer you get to time frame. So like I said, please check out the replay. You can purchase the replay recording from the solstice bath. There was quite a lot of the Magdalene, what I call like the Magdalene energy, but it's more like the feminine Christ energy. But like I said, it's not feminine. It's the lost, not a lost story, but it's the story of the two. It's, the when we hear Christ, we attach it to the story of Jesus or Yeshua often, and we don't realize that I think people do, but really it is as per that card. It's really what was in that card. That's the message. That's the Christ consciousness message, or that's the Christ message. It's not necessarily attached to a male or a female or a story even, or a story of a life. Though a life lived in that energy and love is often a powerful story and a powerful life. So yeah, it seems to be a lot of what's moving through me. If you have an interest in that feminine, there's a very important passage that I shared in that solstice bath that I do actually feel is why I'm being drawn to get people there. But you do have to make the effort to be there, and I do think it is amongst the whole thing. I think it needs to be in the context. But it's a very powerful message. So, yeah. I want to say thank you to Lars Mool, I think that's how you say it. He wrote a book, and he's passionate about this Christ energy, and has been living it and working with it, and doing what he, allowing it to move him for many years. And he's not the only one, but I just feel like he's been inspiring and kind of connecting up with me over the past 10 days, couple of weeks. And it's just been nice. It's very nice when people share their experiences so that I can feel like I have shared experience with people, because I have to be honest, I don't experience that much shared experience, because the experience that I have can be quite different. Though, like I said, we're all the same. We are all the same. We all have different gifts, talents, skills, and leanings, but we are all made of the same love. And all we need to do is be who we are to realise ourselves in that. So that's all I ever want. Loads and loads of love. You're just always, you're much more special, much more powerful than you know, even if you believe you're special and powerful, even if you know. It's even more. Loads of love, and I will see you
very, very soon. I'm hoping, basically, as soon as I get my Rumi cards, I'm going to record and upload something, so that's going to be fun. So keep an eye out for that this week. Loads of love.